If your year hasn't panned out as you had expected, then this is the perfect time for you to make some behavioral changes in how you operate your personal finances and cash flows. I was introduced to Dave Ramsey's teachings over 14 years ago and can tell you from firsthand experience, the baby steps work. I've taken FPU twice, I've taught it twice, and I've had over 6,000 personal one-on-one financial planning meetings. The baby steps are the real deal. If you didn't already know about them, I'll share what the baby steps are, why they work, and we'll add in my 2 cents on a few tweaks that made sense for us. Let's get to work. What's up, guys? I'm Kay Scholl. Welcome to another financial awareness video. Baby step number 1, save $1,000. This is your starter emergency fund. If you already have $1,000 saved, go ahead and check that box. You're done. If you don't have $1,000 saved, then this is where the rubber meets the road, where you need to take action and start to change your behaviors as you go down this journey. So here are my thoughts. If you make $25,000 a year or less, it can be very challenging to save up $1,000 and pay all of your normal bills and have somewhat of a life. So I've heard Dave on the radio mention for smaller incomes only having a $500 starter emergency fund. Conversely, if you are blessed and you make over $150,000 a year, I think $1,000 might be too small, and I would suggest maybe having a $5,000 emergency fund depending on what your comfort level is. As you speak to other people that do Dave Ramsey, you'll start to hear people say, well, I did Dave Ramsey, but, or I do Dave Ramsey-ish. You'll start to hear some of those stories. Baby step number 2, pay off all of your debt except for your mortgage. You need to make a budget. You need to review that budget before you get paid every payday because you want to emotionally tell your money what to do before it hits your checking account. Maybe try to sell some stuff. Shoot, get a second job if you have to. Yes, this is going to suck, but just keep telling yourself, this too shall pass. This is what takes most people the longest. Personally speaking, it took my wife and I 3 years from July of 2008 to July of 2011 to get through baby step number 2. Had we dropped all the way down to $1,000 starter emergency fund, we could have gotten out of debt about 3 months faster, but that was a little bit too low for our comfort level. To have only $1,000 saved for 3 whole years, it's risky. But that's exactly why this works. And what Dave suggests is to take that fear, to take that risk, and to channel it into a gazelle-like intensity. The analogy is a gazelle running away from a cheetah that wants to eat it for lunch. Literally running for your life. Remember, personal finance is 80% behavior and only 20% head knowledge. It's one of my favorite Dave Ramsey quotes. So, what order do you pay off your debt? In baby step number 2, you list your debts from smallest to largest, and you pay off your smallest debt first. There are a slew of other financial wizards that like to make the argument of paying the highest interest rate first or paying the highest payment first. I've heard all of those arguments, but the reason why Dave's debt snowball works is because of the emotional victory you feel when you get to cross off that debt when you pay it off. It really feels fantastic every time you get to cross off a debt, and that's why it works, because it keeps you motivated to keep paying off the rest of the debt. Quick side note, I believe in you. You can do this. Baby step number 3, save 3 to 6 months of your expenses. Whew! You made it past baby step number 2. Congratulations. I'm proud of you. But don't take your foot off the pedal too much, because you need to take that same gazelle intensity and apply it towards building up your little baby starter emergency fund of $1,000 and increase it to 3 to 6 months of your expenses. So for example, if you spend, say, $5,000 a month, then you would need anywhere from $15,000 to $30,000 saved up in your emergency fund. 15 to 30 is such a wide spread. So if you are a salaried employee, you're a W-2, maybe you're an engineer of some sort, or maybe a teacher, and your income is predictable, you probably can get away with only a 3-month emergency fund. But conversely, if your income is very unpredictable, and it goes up and down, it's very volatile, then you maybe need to beef it up to a 6-month emergency fund. However, notice a minute ago I said 3 to 6 months of expenses. So make sure you have your budget dialed in, because this isn't 3 to 6 months of your income, this is 3 to 6 months of your expenses. So here are my thoughts. I'd say take a look at your group long-term disability insurance coverage. If you have a 90-day elimination period, you maybe could get away with a 3-month emergency fund, but if you have a 180-day elimination period, then maybe you should have a 6-month emergency fund, because then you would have to cash flow your life while injured, hurt, or disabled and can't work somehow. That's kind of scary, so I would beef it up to 6 months if that's a situation that you're in. If you don't have any long-term disability insurance, what are you waiting on? Even Dave says to get long-term disability insurance while you're on baby step number 2. Food for thought. Baby step number 4, invest 15% of your income towards retirement. Dave intentionally says 15% and not 12 or 18% because you're basically taking your debt snowball money and you're spreading it out. He's often quoted as saying do steps 4, 5, and 6 at the exact same time. Now that we're talking about investing, this is going to be a little bit more personal and a little bit more up to you. But Dave would suggest you go to your 401k, you invest the minimum to get the employer match. Then you go to your Roth IRA and try to max it out. If you're still not at 15% at that point, you go back to your 401k and you beef it up to where you're at 15% of your gross income. Speaking of 401ks, I've actually got a few videos and you should check them out. Link in the description below. Baby step number 5, save for your kids' college. Dave intentionally doesn't mention a specific number of how much you should save, and that's intentional because some people don't want to save at all for their kids' college, and some people want to save for 100% of the cost of their kids' college, and most people fall somewhere in between. Regardless of where you fall on that spectrum, if you can save for your child's future, you should. Whether it's a trade school or college or wedding or maybe a starter house fund, you're already on baby step 5 and you're doing a great job of building up your wealth and your financial independence. Why not take it another step further and start saving for the next generation of your family so that this wealth you're creating can be perpetuated a little bit longer? If you have no kids or you're intentionally deciding not to have kids, then maybe you could do something for your niece or nephew. Or move on to baby step number 6. Baby step number 6, pay your house off early. This is where you continue your debt snowball. By now, you are completely debt-free except for your mortgage. You have a fully funded emergency fund of cash. You're saving for your retirement. You're saving for your kids' future. You're feeling fantastic. This is where you can start to build true generational wealth once your house is paid off and you're free and clear. This is also when you will start to hear and watch different opinions. Paying off your primary home is a matter of leverage and risk. Many people argue that paying your home off when you have such a low interest rate is a little foolish. And to a certain degree, I understand that point of view. But what you also have to take into consideration is the peace of mind factor of having a completely paid off home. If you talk to anyone with real wealth, they'll tell you that paying off your home is the way to go. Because once your home is completely paid off, that frees up so much of your cash flow for you to take a little bit more risk and have a lot more flexibility with growing your wealth and investing your money. Baby step number 7, build wealth and give. Continue to save, increase your savings, and find ways to give to others in need. Giving to others in need provides you with such a sense of gratitude and humility that it's tough to put a price on it. To impact somebody that way, it's incredible. This could be towards your religious organization, a charity that's important to you, or doing something on a more local, personal level and helping people in your local community. You can pay somebody's utility bill. You can give your local elementary school a call and pay off overdue lunch accounts. You could give away your car instead of using it as a trade-in for your next car purchase. The number of ways you can help people is literally countless. And doing stuff like this will actually change you way more than you thought it would, and it will have such a great impact on the people around you. The return you get on that, way better than any other ROI on an investment could be. I've had over 6,000 personal financial conversations over the past 15 years. Click this video right here to see what I've learned. If you're not sure if you should contribute to your Roth 401k or pre-tax 401k, click this video right here. I appreciate your time. See you in the next one.